Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. You know what time it is. It's Maiden's Metal Mondays. So let's go ahead and talk about these three epic cassettes. We have Motorhead, No Sleep at All, Motley Crue, Theater of Pain, and Metallica, Jump in the Fire cassette. This is a single. It's not a full length, it's a single. So first off, we have Metallica's debut cassette in Europe called Jump in the Fire. It was released in January of 1984. This cassette is from Europe and was released on the Music for Nations label. Music for Nations. And this was from England. Alright, so here's the cassette. There's a double A side, so the same track listing on both sides. Had Jump in the Fire, Phantom Lord, and Seek and Destroy. Seek and Destroy and Phantom Lord were considered to be live tracks, which they weren't. They were actually alternate tracks recorded at the Automat, and they had the crowd noise overdubbed in to make it look live. So that wasn't really a live recording. The single was recorded in Rochester, New York in 1983, and the American version of this was released under another album cover called Whiplash. It had another track. It was 4 tracks, and I'll show you right here. Here's the cover for Whiplash, and Whiplash was considered the first Metallica single off Kill 'Em All. Jump in the Fire was also written by Dave Mustaine, who was subsequently fired before Kill 'Em All was released, and then he left Metallica to start Megadeth. We all know the story there. The image here, the image, that was taken from a book called Demons of D-Day. There's a paperback written by Graham Masterson. So if you're a Metallica collector and you love early 80s speed metal, heavy metal, this is a must-have for your collection. Next up, we have Motorhead, No Sleep at All. This is the third live recording from Motorhead. This was recorded live off the soundboard at the Giants of Rock Festival in Finland in 1988 on July the 2nd. It was released on GWR Records, and it would end up being the last release on this label, as Motorhead and GWR got into some legal concerns and legal problems, causing Motorhead to leave the label. Lemmy has criticized this recording and said it wasn't their best live recording, and he blamed the mix and the soundboard. I still think this album stands up. It does have some classics like Dr. Rock, Eat the Rich, Built for Speed, and of course Ace of Spades. This was from 1988. This is the American Enigma GWR variant. I believe it was on another label in Canada under GWR. I just can't remember. It may have been Attic. I'm not sure. Death Forever. Just because you got the power, Killed by Death, and Overkill. So Killed by Death and Overkill are staples in the Motorhead live playlist. I've seen Motorhead 3 times. Was in front of Lemmy the last time, live in the pit. It was loud. It is true, they are louder than everyone else. Rest in peace, Lemmy. And again, we have Motorhead, No Sleep at All. I like this record. Some people don't. I do. Last but not least, we have Motley Crue, Theater of Pain. This was the first Motley Crue record I got as a child back in 1985. It features City Boy Blues, Smoking in the Boys' Room, and then the power ballad Home Sweet Home. If you're a Motley fan, you know that's a staple in their catalog. They played this all the time. This album is monumental in a few different ways. This is the first record after Shout at the Devil. So there's 2 years between Shout and this record. And between that, we had all kinds of stuff that happened. Vince Neil got in a car accident while drinking and driving, and it killed the drummer of Hanoi Rocks, Razzle Dingley, rest in peace. And this also began the transition from them being more of a heavy metal sound and thrash metal to being more glam and sleaze type of sound that they were known for between the early 80s or the mid 80s and beyond. So this album was recorded in 2 places. It was recorded at Pasha Studios at Cherokee in Hollywood. It was mixed at the record plant in Hollywood as well. This is the original 1985 cassette and was on the Canadian and American Elektra label. This is almost brand new. I just got this recently. You can see it was manufactured in Canada for Elektra, distributed by WEA. But this was a monumental album in my life. Love this record. And I think it still stands up to this day. Some people don't care for it, and the band doesn't really care for it either. But I do. I like this record a lot. The Brownsville Station cover for Smokin' in the Boys' Room was a classic for me growing up. One of the first songs I learned how to play on the guitar, and one of my favorite songs. So that's what I got. We got No Sleep at All from Motorhead, Motley Crue's Theory of Pain, and Metallica Jump in the Fire cassette single. That's all we got for Metal Monday this week. Thanks for watching. See you in the comments. See you next week.